What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be going over some exercises that I do and pros do to help increase reaction skills, increase or shorten your reaction time. And what that's going to do is that's going to make you faster on the court in terms of getting that first step going in the right direction. These things are easy to set up. Usually you only need another person to help you do it. Some of them can be done on a ball machine for little variations, but let's get into that for today's video. And before we get started, guys, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get into the first exercise. The first exercise is super simple. Usually we're going to be covering the warm-up stuff first. This one you usually would do before you even take the court. You'll see pros do this all the time. I'm going to be using Maya as my partner to demonstrate this exercise. So what I'm going to have Maya do for this first warm-up exercise is she's going to be in a low ready position, and she's just going to be bouncing on her toes very quickly. Not like this, but actually like in that position there. Her job is, for the first round, which is our warm-up, she's going to react to me dropping one ball or the other. And as soon as it hits the floor, she has to grab it. Bouncing on her toes imitates the split step and being able to move quickly in either direction. You ready? Drop down. Good. Again, and I'm going to move further away, get to it quickly. Good. Perfect. Now, the advanced version of this would be I hold my hands higher, and then she's going to have to catch it out of the air. Now, I'm going to do my best to not do any tells of like dropping it quickly. My hand just opens and she reacts. Get low again. Tougher. Ready? There you go. Now, the next warm-up variation is going to be similar to that, where Maya's going to be moving her feet really quickly, but I'm going to be throwing a ball out of one hand or the other, and she's going to be splitting and exploding out and grabbing it quickly and throwing it back to my hand. So depending on the level of the player, you're going to increase or decrease the distance. Maya's pretty good, so I'm going to be about this far away. The trick here is don't throw the ball at the person. Throw it straight up, and they're ready to shoot out on either side. Ready? Good. Now, they also have to work on their catching skills, but okay, react faster. There you go. One more time. Great. Warm-up exercise number 3 is actually super challenging, but it's one of the ones that I use the most when my kids have trouble volleying because of just like tension in the body. What you're going to do is you're going to put a person near a wall with them facing the wall, and you're going to be standing behind them as the thrower. That gives them a very short amount of time to read the ball, and what's going to happen is they're going to catch the ball after it bounces off the wall. Here's how that works. Okay, so with this one, Maya's going to be in a low ready position facing the wall. And as I said, I throw the ball off the wall. I'm going to go slow first, and her reaction, since she can't actually see me releasing the ball, is going to be to quickly fire her body off and react like that. Now, when the person's advanced, all you'd have them do is start bouncing their feet just like before. Hands stay a little higher, and you start throwing the ball faster off the wall. So ready? Bounce your feet quick, hands in front, faster, just like that. So she's got no idea where the ball's coming from or what direction the ball's going to go. So I could throw it across her body, or I could throw it away from her, and she has to keep that movement the same way. Good job. So that does it for our reaction stuff on the warm-up. Now what we're going to do is get onto the court. Now, one thing that most people kind of underestimate when it comes to players being able to react quickly is they think that players are only reacting quickly. There is a certain amount of explosive movement that comes into tennis, like you just saw with Maya having to react to little stimuli. But if we do that in a longer form, Maya was actually, except for when we were doing it off the wall, she was reacting to me. And what you're going to do in most reaction-based exercises is actually make the person pay attention to things other than the ball. So what I'm going to do with Maya now is I'm actually going to feed a few balls to her, and then that'll turn into hitting. But it's going to be for her to look at me for her visual cues on what the ball is going to do, rather than just looking at the ball itself going through the air. Here's what I mean. So with Maya on the baseline over there, I'm just going to be feeding the balls to her, letting her warm up. Now, sometimes I would do this in kind of a rally setup, but the idea is she's actually not looking at just the ball. What I would tell her to do is, if she sees any change in the way that I move my body, to anticipate that the ball is going to move differently. So all of my feeds so far, except for that last one, have come from a bigger motion of my hand. I've fed from here and dropped the ball all the way back there. But the second I've changed my body into this position here, she's anticipating that the ball is going to change. Some coaches, and I'm saying this because I want coaches to actually be better at this, some coaches will do this where they'll feed a ball from this position, and then with the exact same feed, they'll do something like that. Now the person actually has trouble reacting because there's no thing to pay attention to on the other side. Tennis is a reactionary sport, but there's more information than just the ball. The person on the other side has to hit the ball, and that's going to get us into our next exercise, which is going to be more about paying attention to the other person. So moving on to this last variation of this exercise, I'm going to be rallying with Maya, and her job is to call out body language that she's noticing, which is essentially going to tell her which type of shot that I'm hitting. If I'm hitting a rally shot, she's not going to say anything because 80 to 90% of the time, that would be the shot that I'd be hitting. But if she sees something that tells her I'm going to slice or something that says I might hit heavy or a flat shot, she's just going to call out that she sees those shots coming. Now, some of the things that you could look for is obviously if somebody's going to slice, you might look for the grip change. If somebody is going to hit heavy, you might look for deeper knee bends or leaning backwards, which is going to mean that they're probably going to lift the ball up more. And flat might be just a change in body momentum or looking to take a ball at a higher point. She's taking in all that information, and what that allows her to do is get ahead of her reaction. She's already got a step in the right direction before she even has to figure out which direction the ball's going to go. Here we go. So you don't have to say anything if we're rallying.
Heavy.
Good call.
Flat.
What'd you say?
Flat.
Great. Yeah, it doesn't mean you're going to make all of them, but it gives you a head start in the right direction. There we go. Back to work.
Heavy. Slice.
Good ball. Right inside. Perfect. You haven't missed a single call yet.
Heavy.
Good. So if somebody's going to hit a heavy ball, now that you know it's coming, what would be something that you might want to look to do?
Like back up so you have space to step in.
Yep. So you could back up and wait for that ball to drop a little bit and step into it. And if you're really early with recognition, you might even be able to step in and take it earlier. That's your choice, though. It could go either way. Here we go. One last time.
Slice.
Good.
Heavy. Heavy. Flat.
You were a little late to recognize that one. That's okay, though. Again, you're not going to see them all, but if you saw me making that move in earlier, what would you have thought to do?
Back up.
Yeah, simple enough. If I'm going to hit flat, my ball's going to get a little faster. And if my ball's going to get faster, you might want to give yourself time to react to it, right?
Yeah.
So for our last exercise, I'm literally just going to be hand feeding Maya. And the whole goal here is that she really uses the split step hard, hits the ground, and explodes out of that over to the side. Now, if you're able to combine everything we've been doing so far, the footwork is actually going to accelerate to a point where you can do what's called a single leg split step, where you're predicting where the ball is going to go. So instead of landing with even bounce on both feet, you're actually going to land slightly off with one foot hitting the ground before the other one. What ends up happening is, since you know where the ball is going because of all the information you've been taking in, you hit the ground kind of already going in that direction. So Maya's going to be practicing her inside out forehand. So she'd actually hit the ground with her right leg first, right, left, and then jumping over to this side because of all the other reactionary things she's been working on. She's reading what her opponent's doing. She's reading what the ball's most likely to do. She's picking her stronger shot and then bouncing out into that inside out forehand position. Ready? So feeding from here, move over just a little and go. Yep, and then the hands go up immediately, come back to the middle, one foot then the other. Try to get those hands up same time and see how by doing that, she's getting out the way pretty fast. And that's only possible if you're able to predict what's happening. Like if you aren't reading the court like I just did and I threw the ball that way, she would actually be pushing herself in the wrong direction and the ball's going there. But if we've done a good job of paying attention to everything going on the forecourt, creating these situations and doing the anticipation and reactionary stuff, you can do things like taking a step off and then moving in the right direction a little bit ahead. But that's going to wrap up the video for today. As always, if you know anybody that will benefit from this, send it off to them. Also, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. We are almost at 10,000. And until next time, I'll catch you guys in the next video.